Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's B. I'm here to talk about some insider information that was given just a few minutes ago by Samus Hunter. She is a well-known insider on Twitter, because I don't want to use the L word, because that word is very bad right now. And I don't want to get myself in trouble with people saying that I'm trying to spread false information. So we are calling this a rumor video, because rumors are just rumors. They're not true. We don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes in Nintendo, and I think a lot of these people absolutely don't claim to know exactly when this stuff is happening, but when they do, I personally disagree, just because Nintendo's a weird company and they decide to just do whatever they want. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Samus Hunter's speculation that the next Nintendo Direct is happening in September. Now, September has been the month for Nintendo Directs in the fall for quite a while now. It has happened over the last couple years, except for 2020, I think, because the pandemic. But other years, a Direct in September has been very normal. Now, could this Direct be moved a month or so or two? Yeah, sure, it could be. It could be moved into early October or mid-October. This Direct could be moved right before Metroid Dread comes out. We don't know exactly what is going on at Nintendo right now, especially in the fact that we are in a global pandemic, and that has affected a lot of game production and just how quickly Nintendo can get out directs. It's a difficult time, and Nintendo's definitely still adjusting to how difficult it is to communicate and make sure that everything is set game-wise and presentation-wise. So that's part of the reason why we didn't see a lot of directs until earlier this year. Let me just preface with this right before we start this video. A lot of the tweets are rumors. No one knows if any of this is absolutely true. Samus Hunter claims that it is. She has a good record, but everyone is wrong, could be wrong. So let's keep our expectation checked. Let's have fun speculating, because I think that's the reason why a lot of people watch these kind of videos. We like to speculate as people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But please don't treat these as absolute truths. I think that's something I've learned, especially with the Nintendo Switch 4K situation. I want to make sure that people know this, and I want to preface it. So let's just get into the video. If you guys like seeing this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. Comment below, let me know what you guys think. So let's just get on with this video. So Samus Hunter, she claims that there is going to be Direct scheduled for September, around the time that WarioWare launches. So we will probably be seeing that game featured for a few minutes on that Direct. Don't be surprised if it does, and people are going to be complaining, why is WarioWare getting more promotion than their favorite game? Nintendo is a business. They need to promote the games that are coming out. A lot of these games are not absolutely confirmed, but she is speculating that some of these projects will be announced around this time. Keep in mind, there will not be a lot of projects released in 2021 because Nintendo unveiled their roadmap at E3. I think 2021 is pretty much filled up. A lot of these games we will be seeing in 2022. Whether it is early or mid 2022, I am not sure personally. But I think we will definitely be seeing a lot of the fall 2021 games that were announced at E3. A lot of the trailers that we saw at E3 were just announced trailers, so we don't have all the information on the games, and Nintendo is still going through their marketing cycle with each of them. For example, Metroid Dread, we have seen a bit of it, but Nintendo is definitely holding back on information so they can hype it up a little bit more. There are features that we don't know about. There might be more to it that we don't know about, and I think that is the goal of this marketing cycle. Nintendo doesn't want to show all their information or show all their cards right at once and then just wait for the game to release. They want people to renew their interest in the game, especially if it happens in September or early October. I think Nintendo's going to really want to feature this game because that is coming out with the Switch OLED, and they're expecting it to sell very well. Advance Wars, and Mario Party are also going to get a bit of a feature here. We only saw the announced trailer for Advance Wars. We haven't seen exactly what is being done with the game, and I think this will be a good time to talk about it and again renew interest in the title, because by then it will be a few months after E3 and people would have moved on. So I think bringing it up again is a good idea. Same with Mario Party. Those games are coming out very soon, and Nintendo needs to promote them to make sure that they do as well as they possibly can. And Samus Hunter also talks about Animal Crossing, the new Smash character, and DLC for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So I think those are absolutely happening. Animal Crossing announcement just kind of happened today. There are updates planned for later this year. I think that would be a good time to talk about them. From what I've seen, I don't play as much Animal Crossing anymore, but there hasn't been an Animal Crossing update in quite a while, and people are craving for new Animal Crossing content. So I think this would also be a good time to do that. If you guys are hearing what I'm saying, keep your expectations checked for this direct. It seems like it's not going to have like a ton of announcements like E3 did or previous directs, just because a lot of it's going to be focused on updates in existing games that are going to be released soon. We are thankfully done with the Smash cycle. I feel like the Smash community can be a bit toxic with people who are announced for the game, and I think it's just a good thing that we're done with it. I'm happy with all the characters that we've gotten. Thank you, Sakurai. I hope he can rest and focus on his next project when he feels ready to. We're going to see more Age of Calamity. I think this makes sense. The game is still getting updates, and I think this would be a perfect time to talk about the next update. The most interesting thing, though, is the third-party side. Samus Hunter predicts that Capcom is going to talk about the next Resident Evil on the Switch. Now, if you guys remember the Capcom leak from a couple months back, there was actually some implication that there is a Resident Evil being developed exclusively for the Nintendo Switch, which makes sense. We haven't gotten any new Resident Evil games on the Nintendo console in a while, and the existing ones don't work just because the Nintendo Switch is limited in what it can do exactly. So making an exclusive game for the Nintendo Switch is a good idea. I'm hoping that they give some love to existing characters that haven't been featured in the series as much. So we don't know what's gonna be exactly, but I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that we get to see it. If not, I think we'll definitely be seeing it sometime in the next couple months. We are also potentially going to see some more Splatoon 3. I don't think we've actually seen it much since it got unveiled in two Nintendo Directs ago. We haven't seen Splatoon 3 very much besides the Switch OLED trailer and also just the reveal. So it'll be quite interesting to see if the game does get some more love, as I think a lot of people were speculating that it's going to be coming out in the early portion of 2022, which I am agreeing with as of right now. But again, as I said, keep your expectations checked. You never know what might happen. Global pandemic, Nintendo's weird. There is also a part about Breath of the Wild 2. No, we are not seeing Breath of the Wild 2 at this point. I think we are seeing it at the Game Awards. I know that seems ludicrous, but Bill Trinen himself said that we're going to be seeing it in a couple months. I don't think it's going to happen right now, just because this direct seems more focused on games that are coming out sooner. And I think the Game Awards would be a perfect platform for the next Breath of the Wild to be shown a lot more. And it gives them more time to work on the game and show us a little bit more of what they've done. There is also some speculation provided by Samus Hunter that Monolith Soft is at a good point with their game, and they're pretty much adding some of the final touches. They're in the final stages of production, and we might actually see a game from them. I don't know if this is happening exactly, unless this game is coming out in early 2022. I doubt we'll see it. If it does get revealed, I think the game will be coming out pretty soon, which is exciting. I'm hoping that we get to see Monolith Soft, whether it is the new IP that they've been talking about, or if it's Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or another spin-off. I don't mind. I want to see more Monolith Soft. I want to play more of their games. They're a great company. If you haven't played their games, please do yourself the favor and do that. Bayonetta 3 is also mentioned by Samus Hunter, and she said that it's a very similar situation to what's going on with Monolith Soft. I think a lot of people have been hearing a lot more about Bayonetta 3 recently and how it's had a bit of trouble with production, but it seems like the game is wrapping up pretty soon, and it is possible we might be seeing it there. But I feel like it might be later into 2022 with this title, so I don't think we need to absolutely see it right now. Samus Hunter also includes that there are other titles that are also going to get a 2022 release date, but I think there will be more third-party games than anything. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of Nintendo first parties, just because there's already such a heavy focus on first parties that I think it would be a bad idea just to include all these first parties, as it would be oversaturated and it doesn't give some titles the respect that they deserve, especially the ones that are coming out sooner rather than later. And Nintendo can always just unveil a lot of these other games in future directs. I don't think every game needs to be talked about right now. Nintendo is going to be fine for the next 4 to 5 months potentially, so we don't need to see a lot right now. It seems like this direct is going to be more focused on updates and, teasing a bit of what's going to be happening next year, which is fine. I don't think people should be expecting all these 2022 games being announced here. We have a lot of games that are still coming out and that we don't know a lot about, so we need to talk about those. Apparently also Nintendo is working on the next Indie World presentation. It makes sense. Indie World presentations do actually come out right before Nintendo Directs, so I think it's a good thing to predict. I think we're going to be seeing more indie games. I think they need more love, and I think this is going to be the perfect time to announce them. I think we're going to see one also in September, or again, maybe October. I'm not exactly sure. That is also a guarantee. I would not be surprised if Nintendo announces an Indie World first and then gets that done with and then announces a regular Nintendo Direct. I don't think that's a crazy idea. And I think the biggest piece of information that might be a little bit clickbaity for some people, and I just want to mention it very briefly just because it seems like the least credible information on here. There are rumors about a Microsoft collaboration on something. Samus Hunter apparently heard some rumors on a news site, just like all of us, about a Microsoft collaboration on something. Now, Microsoft has been teasing collaborations with Nintendo for quite some time now, but I don't know if this will exactly happen here. Now, I think it's going to happen. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's going to happen, but I don't know if it's exactly happening in this direct. It would be a good time to, absolutely, but they can always just wait some more time, and unless it's a game, I think it doesn't need to be announced here. Now, if it's like a special game like the Rare Collection or maybe even the Master Chief Collection, hopefully, I'm really hoping for that Master Chief Collection, I think it would be a perfect time to, but again, this is more so speculation and it's the least credible part of information that we have seen here. So, and at least she was honest about it, but please keep that with a grain of salt. I think people are going to be like moving with that and saying, oh, there's going to be Microsoft collaboration, it's guaranteed. A lot of this information that will happen. People will be saying, oh, it's guaranteed that all these things are going to be here. No, they're not. They're just more updates on projects that we know about. Samus Hunter is actually a very credible source. However, personally, for me, I don't like predicting when Nintendo's exactly going to be doing stuff, because we don't know exactly what their thought process is, and honestly, it's very difficult. I think the most correct example recently on when something would release is the Switch OLED, and there's a whole 4K aspect about it, and I really want to make a different video on that and just give my thoughts on what the information was the 4K aspect wrong, because a lot of people are going to be saying it's wrong, but I think there's a little bit more to that. I'm not saying there's a Nintendo Switch Pro, by the way. I think I'm just going to give a teaser. I think what's happening is that there's some information coming out for the next generation of Switch, whatever Nintendo decides to call it. But that's all I'm going to say. So I think this Nintendo Direct is going to be an exciting one. I think we should be happy, excited. I'm very much looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what happens, and I think it's going to be a very nice update from Nintendo. It's going to be talking about updates from current releases. It's going to be talking about future releases that are coming out very soon, and I think we're going to get a little bit of a teaser of what's happening next year. I know I keep repeating that, but please set your expectations low. Don't expect the world, and I think if you do that, you will definitely enjoy this Nintendo Direct. If you guys like these kind of videos, comment, like, subscribe. Just let me know that you guys are liking this. I'm still trying to get used to this whole YouTube thing, and it's going to take a while, but I think I'm getting used to it a little bit more. Less mess ups. I'm talking a little bit more, but I'm trying to keep these videos a little shorter, but also this video is going to be a little longer just based on the amount of information that was talked about. For future videos, I'll try to keep it a little under 12 minutes at least, to make sure that you guys can consume it in a nice amount of time, not trying to make very long form content. As far as future videos go, for those who are actually curious about what I am planning currently, I do want to talk about Skyward Sword. Yes, that very contentious game. I've never played it before. I finally started playing Skyward Sword for the first time last week, and I think it's interesting. I don't feel like I have enough thoughts for it quite yet, but I do want to air those out in the channel whenever I am done with the game. And I also want to talk about the Black Eagles portion of Fire Emblem Three Houses in its own review. I don't want to review the whole game just because there are 3 different branching paths and DLC. So I think over time I'm going to add more to that series of Fire Emblem whenever I feel ready to play it again. I've been playing for about 60 hours now, and yeah, it's been quite a while. So I think I'm going to take a quick break from the game, play Skyward Sword and then other releases, and then eventually get back into Fire Emblem. I really enjoyed the style of the game. I didn't think I'd enjoy it very much, but it's definitely consumed a lot of my time lately. So besides that, I hope everyone here has a wonderful rest of their day. Stay safe, wear a mask, do whatever you need to do to stay safe. I hope you all keep playing video games, get excited, speculate, don't over speculate, don't assume everything is correct, and I think you'll be set. See ya.